just a wee bit longer, a little more girthy.
Okay, it's official. We are streaming. Welcome to this week's Teaching Raid live stream. This week we are doing the new Update 35 raid, Riding the Storm Out. If you're new to these events, this is something we've been doing. It's our 4th year doing them here in the High Lords of Malkier on the Sarlona server, where we are, as a public event, hosting these teaching raids for people who are new to raids or people who are new to DDO. And what we're trying to do here is try to, welcome people into sort of the raiding community, get people more comfortable with raids, and a lot of these folks are going to be first timers to the raids. Some of them may have done these raids, 1, 2, 3 times, but felt lost and feel like they still have a lot to learn. And we're not trying to make these folks experts at these raids. We're just trying to give them a basic level of competency so that they feel comfortable, going into a pug raid and having a decent idea of how things are supposed to work. So I'm gonna take a few minutes to gather up the newbies that are signed up this week, and so if you're watching the live stream, then you got plenty of time to go grab a drink or a smoke or something like that before the action gets started. And I will be watching the live stream chat too and try to answer questions in chat as best I can. But my attention is going to be primarily focused on the people here in the group. But I'll watch the chat and respond when I can. Oh, and so by the way, I have 4 of my guildies here to help out. So we actually have 7 newbies signed up for this, which is a tall order for a brand new raid, but I think we can do it. I thought there was going to be a higher level of interest, and we were going to maybe do like a 9 p.m. and a 10 p.m. teaching raid, but up until like yesterday, I only had 3 people signed up, but I had some last minute sign up, so we'll get it formed up here. Hey, Belina, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, Paydor. Good to see you again.
Thank you, thank you.
Welcome, Thaddeus. Welcome back to another teaching raid.
Hello, thank you.
Welcome, Karis. Welcome to another teaching raid, Allie.
Thank you.
Welcome, Spice Locks.
Thanks, Azalea.
We have one more sign up, which I'm going to see if I can track down. It was a last minute sign up, so I have to see if this person is even on.
Do we need to go ahead and get the quest, or do we transport from here?
Yeah, you just pick up the quest here from Dalwineth, and then this is the entrance as well. You got plenty of time to go grab a drink if you want to, folks, and we're going to get started in just a few minutes. See, we got a few more people watching now. Welcome if you're just tuning in. It's this week's teaching raid, which is going to be the new Update 35 raid, Riding the Storm Out. This raid, Fernando, is not hard. It's actually pretty easy if you know a few basic quest mechanics. But if you don't know them, yeah, it's going to seem real hard. Like the first night we did it, we went in, as a guild, 12 of us from my guild, and we didn't know the raid. None of us had done it on Lamania. We didn't know anything about it, and we spent 2 hours in there and failed it. But we learned just a couple of things that next day, and we went back in and did it, and now, it's no problem at all. But there's a few things that you got to know, otherwise, yeah, it's going to seem really, really hard. Alright, our 7th new person who signed up is coming along here shortly. Appreciate your patience. Pedor, it's cool to have you back for this new raid. For those of you who don't know Pedor, he was actually like a graduate of last year's teaching raids. He attended a whole bunch of them, and but this one is obviously a new raid, so he's joining us for this. So very cool. And we got some.
Thanks for the intro.
Glad to have a graduate of our teaching raids back for another. It means a lot to me that you come back for this. I mean, that to me that says that you had a good time last year, and you're coming back to learn the new raid from us. That's awesome. Hey, Liv Mo, welcome. Oh, no problem, buddy. I just want to make sure everybody knows that we are live streaming this event right now. We have just 8 people watching, and there probably won't be more than about 20 or 30 people watching, but more people will tune in a bit. And we got some returning faces to teaching raids, so welcome back. And we have some people who are new to teaching raids, and somebody also here who attended one once before, a couple of years ago. So I want to know before we get started, and some of you I asked this already, but I want to know again, like, who here has never done this raid before, or if you've done it, once or twice and you're still learning it.
I've never done it, Lena.
I have never done it either.
Okay. Cool. Yes, it's in the market. And so I've got 4 of my guildies here to help out: Jinabel, Bolo, Mickey, and Taser. And so we've all done this, a dozen times or so. And so they're going to be here to help. But everybody else, we get seven newbies to the raid. Some of them, most of you first timers. I think maybe 1 or 2 of you have done it like once or twice and are still learning it. So before we get started, first off, you have to be level 27 to enter the raid. You can't even get into the raid unless you're 27. So if you're not 27, you're not going to be able to get in. Looks like everybody here is 30, except I can't select Keezer. I don't think he's here yet. Also, you're going to want to make sure you have Energy Sheath, the electrical version, twisted in. We're going to be taking electrical damage throughout most of the raid, and so that's really helpful. And if you have an electrical absorption item that you can wear as well, that's going to be helpful too. And so in the future, it may not be necessary for you to have both of those levels of protection, but for this first time, I'd really like you to have them if that's an option. If you have neither, you're probably going to be dead a lot, but hopefully you have at least one of those, preferably both. And it looks like our hit points here are pretty good. For those that have less than 1,000 hit points, this can be a little challenging, and if you have less than about 800, it can be really, really rough, depending on how you're geared and stuff. Just because there will be points in which we're going to be taking quite a bit of damage. Okay. So for those of you who are new to teaching raids, and I think there's just a couple of you, Belina, you've never attended a teaching raid before, have you? One of our teaching raids?
No.
Okay, cool. Glad to have you. And Karis, you said you attended one once before a couple years ago, right? And everybody else has attended at least several. So everybody else knows, but Belina, if you have questions at any point, feel free to ask. We're going to explain things. I'm going to explain things as much as possible. But if you're not sure what's going on, and you feel lost or something, you want more explanation about something, you know, just chime in anytime. Even if, you know, you're welcome to interrupt me. Sometimes I give lengthy explanations. Also, you know, realize that the information that we're going to be providing is in the context of the fact that this raid's only been out for like a few weeks. So, you know, there might be more information that comes out in the upcoming weeks and months. So, you know, I'm going to give you as accurate as information as I have. But, you know, it's possible some of it might not be 100% accurate. There could be things, you know, important bits of information that maybe we're not aware of at this point. I actually looked at the DDO Wiki article earlier today just to see if there's anything that came out that we didn't know about, and there wasn't really anything in there that was enlightening. So I think we might pretty much know the whole raid at this point, but who knows? Maybe there are arcane secrets left to discover. By the way, we are just going to be doing normal. If you need to pause your bravery bonuses, you've got a minute to go do that now. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and step into the raid. Hey Utax, welcome. See some of my guildies are in chat too. One of them is in the group, Bolo. Once you get in, don't buff yet, because there's one task that we can do first, and then we can buff. Looks like we're all here. Cool. And just in case there's anybody watching that you don't know this new raid yet, there is no flagging required. There's 2 new quests, but you don't have to run them to flag for the quest. It's just you have to be level 27, and you can come in. Okay, this is an explain as you go kind of a raid. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to explain everything ahead of time. We're just going to explain it as we get to sort of each task. No need to buff yet. So first off, I want everybody to come over here to the left. And I want you to see that there's this little puzzle thingy on the wall, and there's one on the other side too. And as soon as both of these puzzles are complete, we'll be able to advance to the next part of the raid, and it will also lock the instance. So make sure you never do these until, you know, everybody's inside. And if you have done the new quest, Newcomers, it's the same puzzle that's in like that quest towards the end. But if you haven't done that yet, or you're not sure how it worked, it's basically like a Simon Says thing. And so the way it works is you pull this lever down at the bottom to activate it, And then it's going to flash a sequence of 3 lights, and you need to just repeat that. And if you get it right, it'll go to the next sequence, which will be 4 lights. And if you get it right, then it'll go to the next sequence, which will be 5 lights. And if you get all that right, it'll be considered done. If you get it wrong, if you mess it up, then it will just sort of restart, and you need to pull the lever again. If you're not a very visual person, an easy way to remember this is just remember like the number pad on your phone or the number pad on your keyboard, and just sort of say those numbers along with it. And so one person actually, when we posted our instructional raid video of this, they said just what you can do is as it's blinking, you can just sort of hit the numbers of your keypad in chat along with it, and that way you have it right there. So that's a really nice little trick to remember it. But here, I'll show you. So you pull the lever, and I'm just going to say it like my phone. So it's 8, 3, 5. And then I just repeat it. 8, 3, 5. And the keypad on your computer is upside down, comparatively. So it's 2, 1, 6, 7. So I just repeat that. 2, 1, 6, 7. Sometimes it's a little laggy, so make sure it registers. So it's 1, 2, 3, 7, 5. And I just repeat that. 1, 2, 3, 7, and 5. And it's done. Now the other one over here
excuse me, do you have a limited amount of time to do that?
Yep. The one over here they need to be done within about a minute of each other, approximately. So there is time for you to actually, for the same person to do both, if you're quick about it. But anybody who's feeling brave, go ahead and give it a try. There's no penalty for failure. There's no hurry at this point. If the other one resets, it's fine. Just go ahead and somebody give it a whirl. And then everybody on the live stream, you all can laugh at him if he messes up. Welcome to those that are just tuning in the live stream. This is our weekly teaching raid event. We're doing Riding the Storm Out, which is a new update 35 raid. We're just in the entrance room right now. We're doing 2 puzzles to open up the way to the rest of the raid. Good job. Oop, but the other side reset. So somebody else, give it a try. It's not a race, just go ahead and give it a try. Anybody's fine. If you mess it up, it'll just reset. It's no big deal. Now a little tip, there's going to be a whole bunch of these puzzles inside the rest of the raid, like 20 more of them. And when we're doing those, you can get struck by lightning bolts that come down from the sky, and they can sort of blind you, or they can strike like right in your view screen. So what you want to do in your viewing area, I mean, so if you just sort of like step back about a body length or so from the puzzle, like not so far that you can't click on it, but if you step back maybe like about a body length or so, and then turn your camera angle at like a 45-degree angle to the side, then when the lightning strikes, it won't strike directly in front of you and in front of the puzzle, so it'll be sort of off to the side. So that was a good thing to get into the habit of. Okay, the first puzzle reset. Let's have somebody get it. Anybody is fine. If a new person wants to, please go for it. Joshua, can you play Mary Had a Little Lamb on these things? Yeah, I bet that you could. I remember there's a toy, some sort of electronic toy when I was a kid, and it was red and long, and it had like the number pad on it. I can't even remember what the heck that thing was called, but you could do like simple songs like that. It's like 80s electronic toys. I'm old. Good job, Keezer. So we're just letting the new folks try out the puzzles. Looks like Allie messed up the final sequence, so it reset. The other puzzle reset. Let's get somebody to do it. And don't worry about the fact that it's resetting, guys. I really want the new folks to try it, so give it a try. Karis, you look like you want to. Or Belina's fine too. So if you're just tuning in the live stream, if you didn't hear my explanation at the start, so it's just you pull this lever at the bottom. It's hard to see because the alien is his name, but you pull the lever at the bottom, it activates it, and it flashes a sequence of 3 lights, and you just need to repeat that. And if you get it right, it'll flash 4, and you need to repeat that, and then if you get that right, it'll flash 5 lights, and you need to repeat that in the same sequence. And if you get all 3 of the sequences right, then it completes the puzzle. Both these puzzles have to be done within about a minute of each other. And once you do these, it locks the raid. Good job, Allie. Great job, guys. Okay, gather in the center here for buffs. Guildy on standby because we had a last second sign up, and you know, sometimes we have people that don't show, so I wanted to have somebody there to fill that spot.
Don't forget energy sheets.
Yep. So pretty much for the rest of the raid, we're going to need energy sheaths. So if you have that, go ahead and turn it on and put on your energy absorption item, if you have it. Your electrical absorption item. And, alright, like I said, we're going to explain this one as we go, so let's do it. There's going to be an environmental effect throughout most of the raid until we get to the final beatdown. You can see if you jump, you're getting blown back by wind. So you really want to get in the habit of not jumping in here, because there are points in which the wind can blow you into like canyons, and it can be kind of a pain to get out. So Mickey is going to turn a lot of these skeletons, and then we're just going to have to fight the Forgotten Stormborn King, or Forgotten Storm King. But if you didn't have a cleric to turn them, you would need to separate the mobs, because they don't want to, they want to just regenerate if they're together. I'm not sure of the exact mechanism, but just separate them and kill them and you'll be fine. I guess what I'm saying is I'm not sure if, like, if there's a certain mob next to a certain other mob that causes the regeneration, but like I said, if you just separate the mobs and kill, you'll be fine. Periodically throughout the raid, we're gonna, you know, like every few minutes, we're gonna remind you guys to refresh your energy sheaths. Somebody watching the live stream a few minutes ago said, you know, they heard this raid was really hard. And, you know, if you don't know the basics of it, it can be. You know, but if you have your electrical absorption and know a few basic things about the raid, and you stay organized, it's not bad at all. And we're going to be staying together the whole raid. It's very important. Taking a lot of damage from this guy. Seems like more than normal.
Because he's actually hitting now.
That's true. That's a good point. Sometimes this guy is brain dead. It seems to happen pretty often. So I guess it's because he's actually swinging his weapon and not brain dead that we were taking some damage. And now he seems to be brain dead. Okay. So
Now just dead.
now we can go into the arena, And if you look up, you'll see the dragon boss up there and a stormy thing. It looks really cool. And there's going to be some trash mobs that spawn, some more giant skeletons. Mickey can turn it all except some of the red names, I believe they're priests. We'll have to kill that stuff. There's also 2 collectibles underneath the main platform. You can go ahead and grab those now. And I want you to look to the north, east, and west of the main platform, and you see there's a like a dais, and then there's some like floaty runes above it. And if the High Lords could kill the priests, that'd be great, while I sort of explain things to the new folks. Thank you, thank you. And there's more of those Simon Says puzzles. There's 1 on each side. So there's a total of 6 here. There's 3 pairs. And each pair has to be done within about a minute of each other. But all 6 don't have to be done within a minute. It's just each pair by itself. So you could have 2 people, doing the puzzles, and they could just move to each pair. But I really want you to pay attention to the runes that are floating above the puzzle right now, because the dragon is going to do those runes, and it's an indication that one of her special moves is coming. So when she does like the light blue or the whitish runes like you see now, the smaller ones, that means she's going to put these circles on the ground. And the circles look like big targeting circles, like big white circles. You need to stay out of those. You'll take electrical damage while you're in those. It's not too bad on normal, but you definitely don't want to hang out in them. You can move through them quickly, but don't stand on them. And if you get knocked down on them, it really sucks. You definitely want to call it out if you're knocked down in a circle, because you're going to need some heals. Also, when these puzzles are completed, I want you to notice that there's going to be like a large ring of yellow runes around it. Let's get one of the new folks back here on the west side to do this puzzle. Okay, Paydor, do that puzzle if you would, please. Also, if you're new, go ahead and take a look at the map right now. This is the whole raid. It's just this right here and that entrance room that we came in. And by the way, you can dedoor at any time. It won't lock you out. You just go back to that entrance room. So if you ever, there was an emergency situation, you guys needed to regroup, you could always just dedoor, take stones back there, raise them up. There is a death timer in here, by the way. Even on normal, there's a death timer. It's like 30 seconds or something. Notice that there's like the arena in the center. It's like a big circle, and then around it there's a bunch of ruins. And what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be making a big like counterclockwise circle starting in the southeast corner. And there's like different sets of ruins that have puzzles there, and we're just gonna move from ruin to ruin, doing the puzzles and working all the way around the map until we finish all the puzzles. But that's a little bit later on. We're going to have a dragon beat.
Puzzle's finished.
Mickey, come on.
Hey, I solved it first.
Everybody on the
Second time
live stream
through,
is
yeah.
laughing at you now. I just want you to know that.
That's all right. It's better than Mickey dies.
Reset.
Yep, they don't take long.
Yep, do it again if it reset. So at this point in the raid, there's not really any sense of urgency. I think there can be more trash mobs that spawn, but we really have sort of all the time in the world. And let's get some other new folks to go to the north puzzles, and you can do those. And then some other new folks can go to the west or the east puzzles, and you can do those. So just new folks on puzzles. Don't worry if you mess up. It's not going to ruin anything. And there's a north puzzle that's free if somebody wants to take it.
We got one set done now, so you can see the yellow runes.
Okay, great. We'll
West is done.
I'll wait till they're all done. When they're done, don't go up to the top yet, guys. I just want to explain the runes. Just want to show the runes to the new folks. Yeah, it is a pretty nice looking map, Keezer. I really like this raid. I think it's a good looking raid. I think it got a really bad rap at first. You know, just people didn't understand the raid mechanics, and that can make things really, really hard. But that's, you know, sort of the way that a raid should be when it first comes out. There should be stuff that people figure out. I mean, I wasn't around back in the day, but I heard when Titan came out that people didn't figure it out for months. Not that I want us to take months to figure out new raids, but just to put it into some historical context. Okay, looks like north and west is done. Sheath check. Okay, don't go up the air jets yet. I just want to show you. Like, see, now that the puzzle has been done, you can see there's a big ring of yellow runes floating around it. So you can tell if the puzzle's done from across the way. You don't have to like run over and look at the puzzles. The dragon's going to do those runes too. So when the dragon does the yellow runes, we're going to call out yellow, and we're going to collapse on the dragon. You're going to get like under her side or under her back, and she's going to do like this electrical storm effect. And if you're like under her, basically, you won't get hit by it. So you see the yellow runes, it's going to be collapse on her to avoid the lightning storm. You see the light blue runes, that's going to mean the circles are coming. Now that all three sets of puzzles are done, the first dragon beatdown fight is open. So you're going to go ahead and take these air jets up, and the wind effect is still going. So you're going to need to sort of navigate yourself up there. And it's a blue dragon. If you don't know dragon lore, blue dragons breathe electricity, and they are immune to electricity. Best not to jump around while you're up here, because you can get blown off. You can get wing buffeted off too. If that happens, just take the air jets back up and go ahead and beat on the dragon. If you're not the tank, Bolo's going to be tanking. If you're not the tank, you want to stay towards her rear. She breathes her electricity in like a 270-degree arc, so you basically won't, you know, like from like you know, the 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock kind of a thing. So you really want to stay towards her backside if you're not tanking her. Also notice that you're getting these stacks of electrical vulnerability. It shows up in your buff bar. It's called storm magic. And I think when you collapse on her, it'll go away. But there's going to be a mechanism later on to get rid of it too. You can also get rid of it by going onto the main platform and letting it sort of time out. But there's going to be trash mobs down there, and that can make things challenging if you're down there. Hey Twitch 420, welcome. Targeting the dragon can be a little bit fussy for some folks. I have an issue with it. Some people have said they don't have any problems. But you may need to manually target the dragon by clicking on it, as opposed to using tab or whatever it is you use to cycle through targets. Notice that the dragon has 5... Well, some of you probably can't see it, but the dragon has 5 million hit points. The highest hit point mob in the game by far. The previous highest was like the Lord of Blades that has, I think, 1 million, or about 1 million. Okay, we got trash up. Let's have casters and warlocks and range tunes work on the trash. So earlier, you know, for those of you watching the live stream, that, you know, I said there were some basic mechanics that you need to know, otherwise this can be a giant pain in the butt. And the first is that you're going to take constant electrical damage. So that's why, you know, you need to have sheath and or electrical absorption. Otherwise, you know, if your party didn't have that, it can be really messy. It can be a res fest. Now, trash up. Ranged and casters on trash, please. But, you know, depending on how many hit points you have, how you're geared, if you're self-healing, you might not need either in that. I experimented last night with Voodoo, and I didn't use energy sheath or an absorption item the entire time. I had a little bit of absorption from ship buffs, but I was fine. But we were just doing normal. So I suspect on hard, you know, it's going to hit a lot more, and you're going to definitely want absorption there. We're going to beat the dragon down to 70% health, by the way, so not too much longer. And then she's going to fly away. Yellow, everybody collapse. She's doing the other runes too, so we're going to have circles. You can back out as soon as the yellow runes go away and stay out of the circles. Trash. You see, the damage isn't too bad on normal. It was definitely harder hitting when it first came out. We toned it down about a week into it. Okay, she's flying away. Kill the rest of this trash. And then go ahead and jump down. And we're going to go out of the arena to the east. Okay, and then we're going to go to the south. We're going to go east, and then we're going to turn right and go south. I want everybody to stay together, please. So what we're going to be doing now is visiting all these different sets of ruins, and we're going to be like opening up puzzles and then doing the puzzles, and we're just going to make a big circle. You can kill any trash that Mickey D's doesn't turn, and I didn't take my own advice. I jumped and got blown into the ravine. But that's okay, there's a ramp right over here. Okay, notice that you might be getting stacks of vulnerability, that storm magic, okay? It's important that you regularly clear those out by running across the runes that you see on the ground. All over the raid, all over the outer area, there are runes on the ground. You can just run across it to clear out your storm magic, and you need to, basically, whenever you see a rune, run across it. You can also stand on the rune to be safe from the lightning, but only the first person that stands on the rune will be safe from it. Anybody else that comes on there won't be. You also can't clear your stacks if there's somebody already on it, so if it's an emergency, you might have to ask somebody to step off the runes so that you can clear your stacks. So everybody go to the south, please. And notice, like, we got this pillar here with 3 runes on it. And there's a bigger rune at the base. And you need to stand on the rune and get struck by lightning 3 times. Each time you get struck by lightning, one of these runes on the pillars will light up. When all 3 are lit, it will open up the puzzle. If you look to the west, you'll see there's a gated puzzle there. And so, by lighting all these runes, it will open up that gate and allow somebody to get in there to do the puzzle. And we're just going to go around the zone doing a whole bunch of puzzles, which will basically unlock the end fight. Bring the dragon back, and we just beat down the dragon again. So, okay, it's open now. Bolo, if you could do that puzzle, that'd be awesome. And then the rest of us are going to keep going north. Remember to constantly, you know, you see a rune, run across it. Clear your stack. And go ahead and jump down. Jump down right here just so you can see. It's just a little zone down here. You know, no need to panic. You just come out in the northwest of this area. There's a ramp. You're gonna fall into these ravines, and I just want you guys to know, you just run out. No big deal. Mickey cannot turn the priest because they're red names, so let's go ahead and beat this priest down. So, you know, another important mechanic, in addition to having electrical absorption, another really important mechanic that if people don't know that can make this raid extremely tough is if people don't know to clear out their stacks of vulnerability. I mean, once you get, you know, 10, 15 stacks, it gets really rough when you get struck by lightning. You get 20 stacks, it's probably going to be over the next time you get struck. Okay, let's get a person on this puzzle, please. Let's get a High Lord on there. Not Mickey, though. Taser, can you do it? Thanks, bro.
Yep.
Okay. So, and then
I
here,
guess I don't fall in this pit.
where Jinnabel is standing, this is the pillar that, needed to light up to open the way. Can you get off that, Jin? And clear our stacks. Thank you. Clear your stacks if you need to. We're going to keep going to the north, guys, to the next puzzle. I'm going to put on my big glowing aura so that you guys can see. This part can seem a little chaotic. Oh, crap. I got to load it up. And I don't want you guys to get lost. Okay, so I'm the big glowing orange ball. So here's the pillar. We're gonna, Mickey here is gonna get struck by lightning 3 times while standing on that rune. It's gonna light up all 3 of those runes, and then the puzzle is open. If we get a High Lord to do this puzzle, and everybody else is gonna go north. So all the High Lords might be occupied. Bolo, can you do this one here, since you're done with yours?
As soon as I find it, yeah, sure.
We're just north of you. There you go. Right here. Remember to clear out your stacks, folks. You see a rune, run over it. There is a shrine.
And then I'll jump down into the ravine.
Okay, cool. It is reusable since we're on normal. Okay, this puzzle's open. Also notice that there's a pillar down in the ravine with a rune that you gotta stand on. If you get blown into this ravine or you fall in there, it's kind of a pain to get out. You have to go all the way to the other end, and it spawns trash bombs as you run through it. So you really want to try hard not to fall, get blown in here, fall into that ravine. Jinnabel, can you do this puzzle right here, please? Great, thank you. The rest of us are going to go across the bridge to the north. Across the bridge over the ravine. Just follow the big orange ball. Remember to clear your stacks by running over runes. Make sure that they actually clear, because if there was somebody on it, then you can't clear it out. You can kill this Stormborn here, this Skelly.
Sorry, I'm running back around right now.
Oh, no problem, buddy. Another puzzle here. Taser, you got this puzzle? Thank you. So an important point here that, if you're in a group where, people have done it many times, they're comfortable with it, like, you can send teams and have, you can split up and have different teams do different puzzles, and so you're not, you're not staying together and all doing every puzzle together, which would make things go a lot faster. But we're gonna stay together so that everybody can see as much of the raid as possible. So we're gonna go. I just want to show you where the shrine is on the map. And like I said, it is reusable. We're on normal, so every 15 minutes you can use it.
Ding.
I guess I'll go ahead and shrine. Probably be 15 minutes before we finish up all the puzzles anyways. So go ahead and shrine up.
Yeah, I just had a giant spawn on me, so it's going to take me a few more minutes on this one.
Okay, we can come back to help. We can go rescue Jin too. Okay, let's get buffs.
I got Jin. I'll grab Bolo real quick.
Okay, thanks, buddy. There's also shelter from the lightning effect while you're in this little building here. Okay, we're gonna go back out. And now we're gonna work across the north side of the map, working west. Remember to clear your stacks by running over runes. Refresh your energy sheaths, by the way. Sheath check. Clear your stacks if needed.
Well, the lightning strike is really interfering with this puzzle.
Are you standing back and turning the camera a little bit?
Yeah, I've tried doing it on both sides, and it's causing one of the runes to not light up when I click on it. So it's not sure if I clicked on it or not. It keeps messing me up. But
I hear you, bro.
I'll find the spot that'll work.
Got plenty of time. So I'm just standing on this rune here and waiting to get struck by lightning 3 times to light the 3 runes. Also notice that at the top you see there are runes floating around at the top of the pillar. Well, when they're all lit, there'll be the big yellow runes floating around it, so you can tell from a distance if that pillar's been done. I'm gonna go ahead and do this puzzle for the video. So everybody else just sit tight, clear your stacks if you need to. So like I said before, you know, we're gonna get struck by lightning now on here. So you want to be like a half a body or maybe a full body length back, and then you turn the camera angle at like a 45, so that if you get struck by lightning, it's off to the side. That's 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. 4, 8, 4, 1, 4, 8, 4, 1. So take your phone, not the number pad on your computer. So 7, 8, 6, 4, 5, 7, 8, 6, 4, 5. Done. Notice in the upper right hand
The other
corner.
thing you can do.
Oh, go ahead, buddy.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, if you don't see the loon right up and you're unsure whether or not it clicked, most of the time it'll still make the sound. So if you're listening for the tone,
That's good
you
advice.
can tell whether or not it went through.
I actually had to do that once just then. I wasn't sure if it went through, but I heard the tone. So notice in the upper right hand corner, guys, that it says reset all control point pairs 4 left. Those are the puzzles that we're doing. So follow me across the bridge, my group. Let's see, who do we got there? Gentis and Taser in the north, and let's wait for Belina to catch up. Refresh your energy sheaths. Okay, Thaddeus is standing on that pillar. Great. Okay, now it's lit. We're going to go down this ramp and into like an anti-gravity well. We're going to take the air jet up. The air jet toggles on and off, so if it turns off, we just wait for it to come back on. It'll come back on in about 10 seconds. There's going to be some trash mobs up there and 2 puzzles. Everybody take the air jet up.
Shoot.
And you can just kill the trash.
I'm coming. Gonna save Gentis, but he saved himself.
Don't forget to clear your stacks. Kaiser, can you go ahead and do one of the puzzles, please?
All right.
And let's get anybody else that wants to go ahead and do the other puzzle. Plenty of runes up here to clear your stacks if you need to. Any questions so far? So if your group knows to have electrical absorption and they know to clear their stacks out, that's going to make all the difference in the world. And then the last sort of mechanic that's really going to make a big difference is knowing the dragon's tells when she does her special attacks. Specifically the yellow, meaning that you have to collapse. So if your group knows all three of those things, then you're going to be good to go. Unless you got a bunch of people with 600 hit points, then you may not be good to go. Any questions in the live stream right now? Make sure you're clearing your stacks out, folks. It is stacking up while we're standing around.
Other thing to note too is that these runes don't reset quickly between the two. I'm not even sure they reset at all.
The puzzles?
Uh-huh.
That is correct. That's a good point. So none of the puzzles in this outside area have to be done in a timely manner. Like there's not pairs. So you can just, once one's done, it'll stay done. It won't reset because another one, wasn't done in time like the first ones. Go ahead and go back down the little well. And we're going to go back out. And now we're going to work south down the west side. I'll put on my aura so you can easily see me. So if you fell down the ravine, you'd have to. Oh, it's actually over here. Well, I don't want to go over there because there's that priest, but you have to come all the way to the west side to get out of the ravine. That one ravine. Okay, go across the pillar bridge. Clear your stacks. You can see there's another pillar with runes on it down at this end of the ravine. It opens up this puzzle here. And you know what? Anybody that wants to take this puzzle, go for it. Anybody at all. And then once you're done with it, you can just follow. You can just go south. Thank you, Kaiser. Everybody else go south. Follow me south. Clear your stacks. If you're just tuning into the live stream, we've got 7 newbies with us. We got me and 4 of my guildies that we've done this raid for probably just a dozen times each, and then 7 folks that are like first timers. A couple here have done it like once or twice and are still learning it. Okay, this puzzle's open. Anybody can take this puzzle. Anybody at all. This puzzle over here. Okay, Karis is going to do it. The rest of us are going to go south. Remember to clear your stacks by running over runes. I know I've said that like 500 times, but I'm a firm believer that redundancy helps with retention. And that I want you to have it like burned into your mind that if you're doing this raid, that you're constantly running over the runes. Like Ginger said. Okay, go over the bridge, guys, but as soon as you get over the bridge, make an immediate right. Don't go straight ahead because it's sort of like a long, windy dead end. If you look on the map, you can see it's like a snaky kind of dead end. A lot of wasted time if you run all the way down there. Sheath check. They're reminding us in the live stream to do a sheath check. Thank you, Dark Child. That's great.
There's another pillar around the corner in this one.
Okay, this is our final pillar here, and once this one's lit, we're going to get an air jet that's going to take us up to the last platform. See how that pillar's fully lit? You can see the runes, the yellow runes up there. Take the air jet up. Remember, we have the wind effect, so you do have to navigate up there. And anybody help yourselves to these puzzles. There's better view. There's the yellow runes I was talking about, so you can see from a distance that that pillar's been done. It doesn't tell you that the puzzle's been done. There's no good way to tell from a distance that the puzzle's been done. At least these outer
I'm gonna
puzzles,
head
but
back towards
the runes.
The other guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I keep getting distracted by the lightning.
Like I said, don't forget to turn the camera like 45 degrees so that when the lightning strikes, it's not directly in front of you, in front of the puzzle. Remember to clear your stacks. Karis, from the amount of damage you were taking, I was guessing you had a lot of stacks.
Yeah, I thought I had cleared it, but evidently I didn't.
That's okay. That's why we're doing this. Now's the time to find those things out.
Oh, lightning interrupted me.
Okay, we're done here. Usually this is the last one, but there's a previous puzzle that's not done yet, which I think Mickey is doing right now.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and make our way down to Mickey. I'll turn on my aura. Remember to clear your stacks. Sheath check.
Lightning is being relentless today.
Yeah, sometimes really bad.
And sometimes it'll take you 20 seconds to do a puzzle, and then because of the lightning, it'll take you 6 or 7 tries and several minutes to do the puzzle.
Yeah, it can be really frustrating. Utax, nothing happens if you
There we
de-door,
go.
other than you go back to the starting room, which is a great place to regroup. In fact, we're going to be de-dooring shortly, as soon as this last puzzle is done. Okay, all the puzzles are done. It says defeat the dragon now. Now we're going to take a de-door and go back to the start. Let's get a de-door up, please. And everybody take the de-door. Okay, we're all here. So as I said earlier, this is, if you ever get in a group and, things are going really bad and you need to regroup, you can just grab soul stones, you can de-door, and you can just sort of get everybody up and rebuff right here. There's no sense of urgency. The raid isn't timed. You're not going to fail. You can stay in here for an hour if you want to. But I just wanted us to de-door just because it was just to get us all back together and so we could run together and stuff. So we're just going to go right back in, and now we're going to go to the shrine before we do our final fight. So we're going to go north into the arena and then out east. I'll turn on my aura. Yeah, Utex, it does. There's no way to lock yourself out like that. And we're just gonna go north across the
The wind
ridge.
stopped in the arena.
What'd you say?
There's no more wind in the arena.
That's right. Good point. So the wind and the lightning effects have stopped now. Now that all the puzzles are done. Oh, I guess the lightning is still happening. I thought that stopped. Okay, well, the wind stops.
It's for casting lightning, I think, still, if I recall.
What did you say?
It's the dragon that's casting the lightning at this point.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's as frequent and as mass targeted as the storm. Just
Go ahead and
you were
shrine
getting
up.
hit there for a second.
Even if you use the shrine once already, 15 minutes has passed. So. And that's another thing. Like you could, regroup and just sort of wait until the shrine resets too if you're in a normal group. In fact, even while you're doing the dragon beatdown, you can leave and go shrine up if you needed to. But you wouldn't want to all leave and do that. Let's go ahead and D-door once everybody's shrined up. Don't buff yet. Let's get a D-door. Oh, I'm such a good dancer. If I miss this D-door because I'm dancing, I'm disbanding the guild. Okay, gather at the gather at the skelly at the door for buffs. I forgot what I was saying now. Oh, you wouldn't want to all leave the dragon though and go to the shrine because the dragon does regenerate at a pretty good clip. They may have. It's possible it could have attenuated the amount of regeneration that she does because I know they toned things down since that first week. But the important point is she does regenerate. And then it used to be pretty fast. So I would recommend, like, if you needed to send a group of like maybe 3 or 4 out, that can sort of like, as a team, go to the shrine while everybody else stays on the dragon. Okay, let's get our final buffs. Let's get our energy sheath. Okay. I'm not the leader of High Lords. I'm technically a successor. Co-leader,
I have all
if
of
you
my
prefer.
buffs ginger since I was accidentally targeting you.
Alright, let's go ahead and go in. We're just going to go right back into the arena, guys, and we're going to take the air jets up to the top, and we're going to beat down the dragon. We're going to beat her down to 0 this time. She's back at full. We're going to beat her down to 0, and we win. Bolo's going to tank. Same mechanics as before. Yellow runes means we need to collapse on her. The light blue runes means the circles are coming. You stay out of the circles, take electrical damage. And periodically we're going to get waves of air allies that spawn, and just casters and range tunes can work on those. We are just 5 million hit points away from victory, guys. Remember, if you're not tanking, stay towards her rear.
I got knocked off.
I'm lagging.
Yeah, I was hanging out in the air there for a minute.
Let me know when you're back and can take. Okay, you're back.
I'm back up.
If you're gonna face her that way, if you can pull her towards the middle, there's just not a lot of room behind her, right? Actually, no, this is fine. Just, yeah, take her a little bit closer to the middle, because her tail swipe is gonna hit people. They're trying to avoid it from behind.
Sheath check.
Oh yes, thank you.
She doesn't seem to want to move.
That's all right.
So I'll just turn her around.
Then you're gonna get wing buffeted off if you're that close to the edge. It's all good. So an important point that I want you to see here is that notice that when it's organized, if people stay together, a few simple mechanics, it's not bad. But this raid got a really bad reputation at first, because people thought it was like impossibly hard and stuff, and But you know, if you don't know to have electrical absorption, yellow, collapse. If you don't know to collapse on yellow, if you don't know how to clear your stacks, I mean, those few things right there, if you're in a group that doesn't know those things, you're doomed. Yeah, it's not a very long raid, Utax.
And I got knocked off again.
As a guild, we're ready to graduate to hard. And the next time we get like a full guild group, we're going to be working on hard. But we've been doing normal up to now. Like I said, we've done about a dozen times. And we're at about 30-minute completions. And it can definitely be done faster than that.
I think that was a home run for the dragon. She knocked me all the way back out to the start.
That's 30 minutes with us staying together, doing all the puzzles together. So if we were to send teams out to do the puzzles simultaneously, I mean, you could get this done a lot quicker than that if everybody knew what they were doing. Yellow collapse. And remember, guys, we got 7 newbies here right now, and we're doing great. 7 newbies to the raid.
Circles.
I'm not saying you're DDO newbies. Stay out of the circles, folks.
You had to say something.
Remember, there is a death timer. And I encourage you to step into the circle so you can see what kind of damage is taken. I'm taking like 50 per tick, like every second or so. Now is the time to experience it. Get hit by the dragon breath. Step in front of the dragon. See how she hits. Like, now is the time to experience that. Nobody here is going to yell at you for dying. You're not going to mess up anything. Yellow. Stay out for the yellow, too, if you want to. See how bad it hurts. It's not bad on normal. Now's the time to experiment a little bit. Air Ellies. Dragon's at 50, we're doing good.
Chief check.
Thank you, Mickey. Yellow. So I'm going to stay out. See, I'm hanging 40, 60, 96. No big deal on normal. Now I do have Energy Sheath, and I do have a 33% absorption item on. That's an old school absorption item. You can't craft absorption on the necklaces now. Elementals. Yellow. Circles. Like I said, go in the circles. I want you to experience that. If you didn't go in the circles, just see what it feels like.
I thought circles were their safe spots.
Well, if you want to troll your friends, tell them that the circles are the safe spots. And if they're like, but I'm taking damage, you'd be like, oh, you'd be taking much more damage if you were outside of them, trust me.
Get them with a corner's
Yellow.
belt while they're in there too.
Yeah, dance them while they're in it. All these things are acceptable forms of behavior in High Lords and Valkyr.
It's required forms of behavior. What are you
Yes,
talking about?
that's right. The Cormor's belt is required gear in the High Lords.
The Gibber's the second on that list, right?
Yep. And then a stack of skull grenades is next.
I've only got blown off twice now.
That's okay. You'll get practice taking the air jets back up. Now is the time to experience these things. Sheath check. Elementals. Yellow. Circles. And just to emphasize, when you see the yellow, if you're going to collapse, you can come right back out as soon as those ruins go away. They're only there for like, you know, not even 10 seconds. If you're watching the live stream, notice that the dragon breathes its lightning breath in like a 270-degree arc. So you really, if you're trying to avoid that, you really need to be behind it.
Sheath check.
Yellow. Circles. So like, I'm getting stacks of vulnerability right now, and I believe that if you get under her, that it resets them. That's one thing I'm not 100% sure of, but they definitely reset while you're up here, and I do believe that it is getting under her that does it. Like, mine just went away, so it stands to reason. As soon as I got under her, they went away.
I haven't noticed mine resetting. I know they'll time out under here.
Yeah, like mine went away like as soon as I got near her.
Noise.
Almost
I
there.
don't really know because I just stay on her.
Yellow. Elemental.
I just discovered something, Ginger.
What's that?
If you tumble forward as the tank when she does her wing buffet, it doesn't throw you.
Oh, nice. Tumbling forward as she's doing her wing buffet, and it won't throw you. You gotta have crackerjack timing
Yep,
for
she
that.
just did the wing. Yeah, she just started her wing buffet animation, and I started tumbling forward, and I stayed right in place.
That's good to know. 100,000 hit points, guys, and we win. Down goes Frazier. That's it. Great job, guys. Congrats on your first riding the storm out. Let's let Belina, as it's Belina's first teaching raid ever. So, Belina, you can open the chest. Good luck on your
Sure.
loots. Any questions about any parts of the raid? Strap of Scale. I haven't seen this one drop yet. The Korkaza runes, by the way, are used to purchase the raid loot, just like the other legendary raids. You can spend, I think you probably need 1250 like the others, I'm just guessing. And you just talk to their raid giver when you get 1250 and you can buy the raid loot. Force absorption 10%, quality resistance 3, electric resistance 70,
I think you can talk to him now.
Stifle electric
now that we're on timer.
resistance. Okay, D500 on the Strap of Scale. Loot drop rates aren't too bad. Like I said, we've probably done it a dozen times. We get skunked maybe every other time, and then in the in-between times we've typically seen 1 or 2 pieces of named loot drop. D500 on the Strappa scale, last call. Thaddeus is the high so far with 443. Look at that, everybody's rolling the 400s. Going once. Going twice. Sold to Thaddeus. Congrats, buddy.
Thank you.
Last chance for questions about any parts of this raid.
It is 1250 on the runes, by the way.
Okay, thank you. Is that what Wiki says or something?
No, you can. They fixed the barter window now. When you're on timer for the raid, you can talk to her and pull open the window.
Okay, I'll do that right now on the live stream. Go ahead and recall out whenever you're
Yeah.
done looting, folks. And thanks for coming. If there's any final questions, now you can ask. But otherwise, thanks for coming. Don't forget to turn it in, and have a great night.
With energy sheath being melee, that sphere is quite a ways from my stuff. Is there any recommendations you'd have to help with that?
I didn't understand. You said as a melee something about energy sheath?
Yeah, it's like 3 bubbles from me from where I'm at to get that to pick it up right now.
Okay.
Is there any gear that I could get you look to find to mitigate it till I
Yeah,
can
so
get
you're
there?
asking if you don't have access to energy sheath, what should you do? That's the basic question, right?
Yes.
I would have at least 1 solid absorption item. If that's good enough, great. If not, then you can have 2. If you have multiples, they will work multiplicatively, not additively. And you need to have different percentages. So you don't want to have 2 25%. But if you had like a 20 and a 30, the way it would work, like it would take 30% off, and then of the remaining, it would take 20% off. So it's not, they don't stack additively. It's not like a 30 and a 20 equals 50% reduction. One is applied, and then the next one is applied. So if you don't have access to sheath, at least 1 really good electrical absorption. You can craft up to 38%. I'm not sure what can appear on random gen. Probably very similar to that. And then, you know, if you had a secondary piece, if you needed it, that's what you could do.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, guys, thanks for coming. Next week we're going to start all over. We've worked through every raid in the game once. We're going to start at the top and do them all again with Legendary Shroud next week. Again, don't forget to turn it in, and have a great night.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Wonderful teach.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Thanks for coming. Any final questions
Thanks,
on
Ginger.
the live stream? Well, you're very welcome, buddy.
And I haven't done the shroud yet. I need to get some of my equipment so that I can make a weapon while I'm in there when he finishes.
Cool. We'll get flagged, and like I said, next week is going to be Legendary Shroud. Have a great night.
Yep. All right. You take care.
You too, buddy. Travis, no, we're not doing any other raids after this. I'm going to be shutting down the live stream, but I will monitor the chat in case there are any final questions. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And there'll be another teaching raid next week. As I said, it'll be Legendary Shroud, because we've worked through every raid in the game once, and now we're going to do it all again before we shut it down for the year. Sometimes we do 2 raids. Sometimes we do 1. It just depends. Like when we do like Fall of Truth and Reaver's Fate, we do those together. We'll do like we do a special event that we call our Death to Sulamatis Extravaganza, where we do all the raids which have Sulamatis in it. So we do E-Chrono, Vision of Destruction, and Tower of Despair. So there's 3, you know. So it's 1 to 3 every week. And if any of you guys are watching, if you're on Sarlona, if you're new to raids, I always post details in the Sarlona forum each week of what we're doing, and it's going to go through the rest of spring. And it's different raids each week. I don't care if you've never raided before, if you feel like you're a complete noob, even if you feel like your gear sucks, like it's all good. Like it doesn't matter. Like that's what these events are for. We're gonna show you how these raids work. And like just like tonight, I'm gonna have half the group is gonna be my guildies helping out to make sure things go smoothly. All good, Travis. Some people have actually made tunes over here on Sarlona to join these. It's pretty cool. That can be definitely a time investment if you're having to like level the tune, and get flagged. But some raids, like Hound of Zoriat, we've had people just make like an iconic level 15 and they can get into heroic Hound of Zoriat right then and there. So they did that a few weeks back. Okay, like I said, I'm shutting down the live stream, but I will monitor and be responding via chat for the next, say, 5 minutes or so. And thanks again for watching, everybody.